February, precisely. And we're right here, still talking about the state of the nation. Michael, still the anchor of this program, and behind the camera is Michael Ojo and Femi Davis. We are all keeping it real. Right here, but by my left hand side is our reviewers, and they are trying to do something, do justice to what we have on the front pages of the nation and the Vanguard. What are they saying this morning? Very important one. Yeah, insecurity. We have failed in our obligation, says Speaker of the House. In security, we have failed in our obligation, says Speaker. Senate seeks security rejig. And on to the next one. NSAS protest promoter reposes bank accounts. Manufacturers, industrialists call for forex policy review. And we have 93-year-old clerk. My battle with COVID-19. Ex-minister lashes Kogi. Governor, quickly to what happened to Wole Soyinka. Of course, there have been diverse reactions to this, but it has been debunked yesterday. My dad's house not attacked by others, says Soyinka's son. He said his dad's house was not attacked by others. Wole Soyinka's son says government caps public debt at 40% of GDP. And let's quickly move down to the picture we have on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Some of the cybercrime suspects arrested by Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in Osun State, Ogun State, when they were paraded by the police yesterday. And quickly to the Vanguard newspaper. What is the Vanguard also saying right here at the newsstand, dishing it out to the world? The major headline, it says Nigeria failing on account of insecurity, says Senate. Nigeria failing on account of insecurity, says Senate. And on APC, crisis trails membership registration in Southeast, Delta, Kwara, Osun. All right, we won't go beyond this on the front pages of these two journals. Let's quickly join our reviewers. Of course, I have Digito right here at the newsstand. Good morning to you, Digito.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Can you come closer a little?
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, right. The same here too.
It's been a while.
Wow, thank God. We are practical. I mean, when you go to China, you go to developed societies today, they don't bank on religion to build the economy, to turn their nation around for developmental purposes. No, they are practical. They go into real-time thinking, they engage professionals and they do the needful, and that's why they are where they are today. I mean, you praying for Nigeria, to me, is we don't need prayer any longer. We need active leaders who have the interests of the nation at heart and who are ready to deliver any time of the day, regardless of their pockets. Because what we have basically in our country is interest, is personal interest, if I must say. So if we put national interest over personal interest, I think that's the thing we need in our country right now. And may God help us.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we still go back to God. May God help us.
May God help us.
Yeah, exactly.
But do we need God to solve the issue of insecurity for us?
No way. I mean, I read what the speaker says. I mean, that is politics. You don't say that. You need to talk as a stakeholder. You are a stakeholder. You are in charge of the affairs of the nation as well. You people should be proactive. You should be on top of the situation. Not you coming to say you have failed. I mean, we don't need that from you. You were not elected in that office to come and give us excuses. I mean, insecurity has been happening in our country for so long, and we don't even take it serious. We play it as politics. I remember then when during former President Jonathan, when they told him that those Chibok girls were abducted, he ignored that and he felt it was politics. Not until that thing gained momentum in the whole wide world. That was when he came to realization that something is happening. I mean, insecurity, to me, that's one of attributes of a failed state, when you cannot secure lives and property. And that's one of the basic purpose of government. I mean, protection of life and properties. And if that is lacking, I mean, if you don't have that, I want to look at what then we are celebrating as a nation.
Now, where did we get it wrong? Is it the people appointed to these offices to tackle insecurity, or the people?
Yeah, actually, when I give you a particular task to go on, I should be on top of the situation. If we have a kind of thing that checkmates what people does in office, I mean, For example, like I always tell people, if I'm elected as a president, good, I can appoint any service based on personal, and that's what is needed. You know, if peradventure before now we are not getting that, what have we done to be on top of it? But in Nigeria, is my friend, is my colleague, is somebody I know and all that, and that is why we are here. I mean, insecure. Nigeria has never been this insecure ever since I was born. I mean, gone are those days. I serve in Adamawa and I travel at night. You know, we go anywhere we want in the country, but you can no longer do that again. Even here in the southwest, you cannot do that. I mean, some of my friends traveled 3 weeks ago. I told them, look, Nigeria is not secure now. You need to leave very early, and I mean, that's not the type of Nigeria I used to know. I mean,
we can't sleep with our two eyes closed.
Exactly. I mean, it calls for urgent attention. I mean, and it's something that saddens one's heart. Honestly.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Matthew, good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike Adekule, I'm fine.
Why did you emphasize?
Because I like calling your name. It's interesting.
Okay, Mr. Matthew Oluku, you are also fine.
It's a pleasure.
All right, you're welcome to another edition of Bystanders, and we are talking about the state of the nation, talking about insecurity in Nigeria. We have failed in our obligation, says the speaker. Now, for the speaker to have come out openly to say this, it seems they've really got it wrong.
I quite agree with you. And if you look at Mr. Speaker, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, he's somebody I have so much respect for. Because if you look at all the category of our leaders currently, he's the one that stands out when it comes to being proactive. I've seen him take so many actions that stands him out. I've seen some circumstances where he have personally taken some decision to show that he had the interest of Nigerians at heart. So, particularly the other time Nigerians were having challenges in Ghana, he volunteered to visit Ghana to resolve it. And apart from that, there are so many instances where he has exemplified himself as a leader that had the interest of the masses at heart. Looking at his statement that they have failed Nigerians, I think I agree with him. But that should be a challenge to federal government, to executive arm of this plethora of crisis. Because however I look at it, Nigeria is being ravaged by serious crisis. So it is time federal government should go back to the drawing board and look at how to rejig the security architecture. Quite agree with you, in the area of sacking of the service chiefs, the government, federal government, they have done well. But beyond sacking the service chiefs, there are certain things they need to do to address this security situation to get it right. I've mentioned rejigging the security architecture. They equally need to build confidence in the international community so that the aid we have been getting from international, long known international partners like America, so that we can continue getting it. The area of training and retraining of our security personnel, they should not overlook it. Then again, the area of technology, to deploy technology to drive the process, they should think about that. I'm saying this because if the speaker have acknowledged failure of leadership in terms of security, then there should be a solution. The solution, or rather the solutions, are what I've itemized. So the government should think of. And another important area is the area of violation of human rights, extrajudicial killing. Because these are the things that make international community to see Nigeria government as a bad government. These are the things that make all these foreign governments to deprive us from most of the aids we would have gotten. So if they address the issue of extrajudicial killing and violation of human rights by security agencies, it will go a long way in redeeming the image of Nigerian government and Nigerian security agencies at the international level. And that will help us to get foreign aids in terms of fighting all these multiple challenges of insecurity.
Now let's quickly move down to the APC membership registration. Of course, we've seen a situation where a particular politician proscarpeted to another party. This time around, a story went viral yesterday where we heard that former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, joined APC, that's the All Progressive Congress. Now, later, I read another story that
Thank you very much. You see, this country, our politicians, it's unfortunate they don't have ideology. You look at what is their driving force, their personal interests, personal aggrandizement. Well, otherwise, if you look at a safe society where democracy work, you are in a political party because of the ideology of that party. If that party is not getting it right, you join hands with other party members to correct any abnormality you notice. Not a situation where once you feel once you are politically disgruntled, you look at the party that is in power, you want to go there because that's where they are sharing the dividends of democracy. It's unfortunate. I'm equally following that trending news. I've equally read what Chief Kayode have said, that this is the era of this is the period of consultation, that he is doing consultation. If you look at that statement in itself, it shows that this man is likely going to APC. The governor of Kogi State have actually confirmed it. Looking at the other day, we saw a picture emerge online of Fani Kayode in company of the former president Goodluck Jonathan while he visited him. He still said that it is in the process of consultation. It tells you that he's almost out of PDP. So you see this mentality and disposition of our Nigerian politicians is not helping our democracy to grow. In any democracy, we must have a robust opposition, because without opposition you cannot put the government of the day on check. You must have a responsible opposition that criticizes any policy that is anti-people, so that the government of the day can come about with laudable programs to advance every area of human endeavor in the country.
Now, does it mean all the criticism, all the appeals, posts and everything he has been raining on APC was just for his own selfish interest, or for APC?
You can imagine. That's what I was trying to say. One of the Mr. President's aide told him that whether he want to join the party of Boko Haram. Perhaps you that we don't have ideology. In America, if you're a Democrat, you're a Democrat. If you're a Republican, you're a Republican. You can criticize your party, but that does not mean that without even provocation from your own party, you jump to another party. This is without prejudice to either PDP or APC, and this is without prejudice to the right of even Fani Kayode himself. You have right of freedom of association, and not trying to criticize him based on that freedom. But what I'm saying is that generally speaking, Nigerian politicians are not the good type of politician we should see. That is why, like me, we are advocating that come 2023, let us have a youth who is competent to take over the reign of leadership of this country. Because we cannot continue relying on all these old politicians. I am not saying they are not qualified and eligible to contest in these various offices, but let us get a youth who will lead us out of this political quagmire. Because there are so many areas we cannot continue recycling all these old politicians that are not giving us results. We need a youth, come 2023, who is competent, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of religion, but who is competent, who is tribalized to take us out of this political quagmire.
Now let's quickly move down to NSAS, bank's order to unfreeze accounts of 20 alleged NSAS promoters. When you look at it, I think vividly, it seems the court did this based on the fact that the youth threatened to embark on another strike at that Lekki gate.
Mr. Mike, I wouldn't say the court was intimidated to arrive at that decision. Whether they were intimidated, that is another thing anyway. But whatever happens, it is the decision of the court. and I think it's a welcome development, because for me it was like intimidation of the youths. It was like handing youths. It was like trying to guard the youths. But again, I want to advise the federal government not to go and appeal against that judgment for peace to reign, because the federal government have every instrumentality of force. If they want to coerce you, they want to whip into line, they have all the instruments. Because I've listened to the Attorney General of the Federation, the President of Malami, on channel television while he was speaking on this same issue. He said there are available options to federal government, that even when they do that, that they are not taking execution of that judgment. I think he mentioned one other legal approach. What I'm saying is that even as they have those rights, I'm appealing to federal government that they should jettison that idea. Because more so, if they have investigated and discovered that these persons who promoted NSAS protests, that they are not in any way linked to terrorism, I think the federal government should raise the case and allow them to have their accounts being operated. Because if they go further to ask court to, thank you very much, I have remembered, he equally mentioned asking court to vary that judgment. If they do either of these three actions, if they take either of these three actions, it will further create a barrier between the youth and the government. And this is not what we are interested in seeing. We want to see a government that embraces the youth, a government that have youth-oriented programs that will promote the youth, not a government that sees himself as opposition to the youth. So what I'm saying is that federal government should resist the pressure from either approaching the court to vary that judgment, approaching the court for a stay of execution of that judgment, or appealing of that judgment. They should allow that judgment to stand and allow those guys to operate those accounts. Particularly if all the relevant security agencies and CBN have investigated and discovered that they are not in any way linked with terrorism, which I'm sure they are not. So that we can have that harmonious relationship between the youth and the federal government. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew. All right, Sunday, you're welcome. How are you doing?
Morning.
Morning. How's everything?
Thank God. No.
Yes, quickly talk about insecurity. Of course, it's still the state of the nation, and we have diverse bodies talking about the state of the nation, especially insecurity. The Speaker of the House,
Good morning.
the Assembly, has also come out to say that they failed in their obligation.
If only they only remember that they have a responsibility, the Senate and the representative, because when they reach that place, they forget their main purpose of voting into the office. You see me, so today they are not get that time because I no get power. The insecurity of Nigeria #1, the nickname to Nigeria of security, protecting anybody. So every day the same matter. You go here, you hear many people, bandit, S-men, this one, key. If they, although thank God that the Senate they have speak up and say that maybe they have faith in their way. All of them, both the president. If only the president can also admit that they have failed Nigeria, you understand, as a president, it will be okay. Everything will be amended. But this one, they are not saying anything there. The president can come out tomorrow and say they are the best government Nigeria ever have. Is that the way the country is supposed to go? You understand? They see through, they will not say it. When they see something, we should put it that this is how it is. So that people will learn. Some people will pick something, but this one, when the country is not good self, even Minister of Information will come out to tell us say this regime is the best regime Nigeria ever have.
This youth going to Lekki to stage a protest, or
they have see for the issue of the Lekki toll gate, they should change it, because what I want to ask now, what is the protest they want to protest in that place? Is it same answers abi what? The opening of Lekki toll gate, they should find and they should leave. If it is only me, let them just forget it and find another strategy. You understand? To let the government know that the youth are angry. Not by going back to Lekki toll gate anymore. But if they have it, that is the only way the government can still hear their grievance again. I support it. You understand? If that is the only way that government will know that the youth are angry, I support them to go back there. Because they play, who are those people eating from there? Are we the one eating from there until they kill the youth? They kill the youth in that place. They confuse everybody and they tell us that they want to set a judicial panel. What does the judicial panel do to those people that are victims? I mean, do to those police that truly they bring their matter, the soldiers, the military, that say yes, they shoot live bullet, they no shoot live bullet. Now governor color, no be governor color. Now this one, until today, the matter have closed. You understand? Because this is Nigeria. When government sit on top of matter, they'll be turning it till that matter will become a useless issue. You understand? So me, I no get power for.
All right, thank you so much, Sunday. Sunday is so cool this morning.
So calm, man.
Yes, so cool.
I can't even see. I've never seen Sunday like this before.
No thunder.
I've never seen it
No
so
thunder,
calm
no
like this.
ogun.
No firebrand. No firebrand this morning, man.
All right, quickly, let's quickly move down to today's business. Nigeria are failing on account of insecurity. When you look at it very well, the way it's been going in Nigeria for some years now, insecurity, it's a serious menace. This is one of the major problems we are facing. A situation whereby kidnapping, raping, killings are taking place in the country. It simply means something is going on. To you, what does it signify? Does it signify the failure of the government or the failure of the people to give information to the people in position to tackle insecurity?
It's even signifying, to me, it's signifying the failure, the symptoms of the failed states. We are just saying the symptoms of the failed states. How I mean, the people we have as leaders in government now, I think they can't, the loads is more heavier than what they can carry. So I was even joking with someone around that we need to find a management body, go to the world, to the global world and look for people that can manage Nigeria for us. Since our leaders, so-called leaders, we vote political leaders, they cannot manage this country any longer. You just realize that every day you wake up, one problem, every day one problem. You know, you wake up today, check your paper, what's it called? You know, stands, you see different horrible stories coming out. I've never even seen positive things coming out, right? And number two, this country is trending towards a jester country because we are crying for as insecurity is rampaging now. What proactive measure do they take? They are saying Fulani herdsmen, they are the leftover, they are the leftover ragtag of Libya crisis that spreads all around. But before they get to Nigeria, they must have passed through some countries, especially Ghana. Have you ever heard Fulani herdsmen killing people in Ghana? Because they don't tolerate nonsense. They are just a laughing stock in the whole committee, the Committee of Nations. We are just a laughing stock. That means now, as I'm talking to you now, in this country, Fulani has more, S-Men has more power than me. They has more say than me. I'm a second citizen now. I'm a second citizen in my country now. If you don't know, you are a second citizen likewise. Because you cannot carry any arms, AK-47, but these guys are moving freely with it. So what you are looking for in Sokoto is inside your Sokoto. The solution to that thing, even the Senate, I still throw that challenges to them, from the Senate president down to the floor member of the Senate. Has any one of them deemed it fit to visit the forest? The committee on agriculture, committee of the chairman committee and his member on agriculture, or what's it called? Because forestry fall under agriculture. Have they ever make any attempt to visit those forests to check, see the true life situation of things going on all around? But they will just sit down in hollow chamber and start, making some,
You want them to die?
comfort. You said you don't want them to die. That is a sign of leadership responsibility. It happens, I keep referring to Barack Obama. When Barack was a chairman of defense committee in Congress, He flew down to Afghanistan to support the American troop in Afghanistan. It wasn't even expected. He just landed with Air Force One, American Air Force One. Just landed, and they never even expected. But that boosted their morale.
No.
But all our senators, they will sit down in hollow chamber with full AC, blowing their brain. How can they walk? How can they walk? None of them has ever even been to all this forest to see themselves,
The reality.
the reality on ground. Somebody will not sit down and, it's just, I don't know.
So disappointing.
So disappointing.
Okay, let's quickly move down to Wole Soyinka. The story has been debunked by his son. It was alleged yesterday that the Fulani herders attacked his home, which, at the end of the day, turned out to be a story that is not true. But when you
Really? Because it's closer to forest. His house is closer to forest.
very,
Yeah.
very close. But what does this depict for herdsmen to take their cows, their cattle down to an international Nobel laureate of this standard? What does it depict?
It indicates that very soon now, the Fulani herdsmen will be taking their cows along down to government houses to breed them. They will be taking their cows around. Very soon they will soon start. How do they will still start. Heading their cows towards Aso Rock now. You will just be seeing flood of cows in Aso Rock. So far they can go to Wole Soyinka, a Nobel laureate and the international acclaimed, figure. So far the house is so porous for them to go to. As I followed the stories, the Nobel laureate himself, the prof came out. He has to order those Fulani guys that they should stay clear away from his house. But for God's sake. But I won't blame anybody. I will blame the leadership. Of the Southwest here. They sit down, look. They were not proactive until this kind of thing starts to happen. If they have been proactive, we will not have people like Sunday Igboho coming out now. It's their job now. Sunday Igboho is doing. They are just silent and suffering and silent. And it's uncommon of Omoluabi of sickness, Omoluabi emblem, yeah, of Odua. See it, say it. But all these guys, I don't know what are they scared of. I gave my kudos to Obaseki. Obaseki said it is now time to separate politics from security. Because security first. Without security, you cannot play politics.
At all.
Because when they start killing your people, who are the people to vote for you? But I don't think this guy has a thinking cap. These governors, I don't think they have the thinking cap. And I'm still bold to say it. Because it's their responsibility to protect me. It's their responsibility to provide, basic amenities for me. But all those things are lacking. And the worst thing of it now, they can't even provide security. So what are they there for? What are they there for? The governor of Oyo State have not deemed me fit to go to until they start miming, killing people. I can talk. I don't know why. I'm just concentrating on that governor for your state.
No,
I don't like his attitude, man.
Kule, should we see a Sunday Igboho fighting this alone?
No, 10,000 of Sunday Igboho will come out.
As
time goes on, yeah, they are even coming out already. He has appointed a chief press secretary. The press secretary. That any information they have to hear from that guy. And that guy was he's been in UK for a while. Koiki. Yeah, very enlightened guy. So people like that, they are ready to volunteer their services. I myself am ready because I cannot be dying in silence. I cannot be suffering in silence. And the trauma alone, when you see somebody carrying AK from 67 and you are harmless, and these people are volatile, that trauma alone can kill. So the country, I wish they can put this country for sale. I wish they can put for sale on this country and sell the whole thing and let everybody go their way, man.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you for coming on board. Quickly to David Sampson. David Sampson, how are you doing?
Good morning.
All
Good
right.
morning, sir.
It's Bystanders again, and we are here keeping it real.
It's
Are you
always
keeping it real too?
very well. It's always good to keep it real with you.
Yeah, always good. Thank God you're keeping it real like that. All right, quickly to the speech made by the Speaker of the House, Lawan. Insecurity, we have failed in our obligations. The security situation in the country now worsening. Everybody knows that. But the major issue now is the solution. And what do you think the government should do? What solution should the government prefer at this point in time that will have new service chiefs?
Thank you, Mr. Mike Adekunle. And it's a beautiful morning to the viewers all over the globe. I believe many persons have been clamoring for the service chiefs to be sacked, right? And the service chiefs have been sacked now. And the president has appointed new ones to pilot the affairs of the defense. Now, I believe at this point, all hands should be on deck for the smooth run. How much is being budgeted for defense? How much is being budgeted for them to purchase weapons? It is not only, we should not always condemn service chiefs alone now. The last budget, how much was being budgeted for? Now, for how long? For how long are these people making use of sophisticated guns? The kind of weapons they want to use and counter insurgencies, how sophisticated it is. The last time Nigeria purchased weapons in this country was in Goodluck Jonathan era. Ever since then, the current administration has not purchased weapons. Mr. Adekunle, how do you want to put an end to insurgency when all these have not, or where necessary steps have not taken, have not been put in place? You keep on saying we should end insurgency, end insurgency. What are the necessary measures you need to end insurgency? The president one, Nigerian army have been clamoring for what their own weapons are not up to standard, and the president have not come out. Presidency have not come out. Okay, look, this is what we will do. We will go to Syria, purchase weapons for you guys. How did Boko Haram get their own weapons? Who is the one behind that? If truly you are sincere, putting a full stop to this, all hands should be on deck. Purchase weapons for them. And then again, there is what deficiency in our defense. These guys have been overstretched. We don't have enough manpower. Why don't you recruit more hands? Instead, you say there's no money for you to recruit. Instead, a senator is going home with 35 million every month, and there's no money. Why don't you bring down the cost of governance, and then make security what priority? Let it the major reason why every Nigerians can sleep with their two eyes closed. If a senator like Lawa earns 35 million naira every month, and then again, if you check our budget for what defense, how much is it? And then we have members as of rep any 25 million. Now 360 times 25 million, and you want the country to go forward. How will it go forward?
Yesterday, when they kicked off their plenary for 2020, the speaker, Gbajabiamila, said Nigerians cannot even go about their business activities in peace. And even some that went for their business activities were raped, killed, and all sorts of destructions were done to their farmlands or their properties. Now, when you look at it very well, this has now come to the western region. We don't only have it in the northeast. It has ravaged eastern part of the country, also the western part of the country. Now, should the governors of these states rely on the federal to take action, or what?
Thank you, Mr. Mike Adekunle. Security, according to Nigerian constitution, security is what? Exclusive. It is only the federal government that's in charge of security. A governor cannot, does not have any power to command the IG of police or the service chiefs. It is on what, based on what, exclusively. So I believe every governor, just like what is happening in this part of the world, where in the southwest, where you have Amotekun, even the Amotekun have now derailed. That is the problem. A Amotekun officer and then Ibadan yesterday was in this place, Shaki. He was there harassing students. He had that Okegun harassing students, checking what is inside their bag. Is that the function of the what? Amotekun? That is not the function of Amotekun.
The noise about Amotekun has even reduced.
It has reduced. No. Amotekun officer now, as a speaking now in this state, Ondo state, are now arresting Okada riders in the present day Nigeria. What is the function of the Nigerian police? What is the function of the VIO or the last man there? Why must it be Amotekun? When person that is what assigned with this responsibility has now derailed, now what do you want to do? And the present day government is not even helping matters. Yesterday there was a fight in the floor of Senate when Senator Adamu from Nasarawa said that Ondo State governor should have been impeached from the east. How to counter him? It was only one senator from the east, Senator Ina Abaribe. Kudos to him. The man had to counter him. That's it. Why? That the governor has to chase out criminals. These people are not herders. They are Fulani men, killing people, ravaging, causing conflict in the land.
Now, before we go further, let's quickly read out what we have on the live chat from CK. Do not expect help from the governors who ordered palliatives belonging to the citizens during pandemic to help you. They don't care about you.
Okay, Mr. Mike Adekule, if this person saying that, if he's saying that we should not rely, Nigeria constitution does not permit us to go about with guns. Even if you want to purchase a gun, you must have a license. It is the function of the government wherever this young man is residing. Government there is in charge of security. Security is the primary function of every government. If they know they cannot safeguard and properties, let them resign. Enough of this Fulani menace. Enough of insecurity. You can see what is really ravaging the land. Nigerians cannot sleep with their two eyes closed. And now the president have not come out on air just to condemn this Fulani men. And now the National Assembly is saying the national livestock would be passed into law. What is the implication of this national livestock? It means every state now must have cattle ranch for this called Fulani men. Every state. And now government has budgeted some money for the implementation of this exercise.
Now let's quickly move down to what Eric is saying here. Nigerians go out and protest and get new results. The protest Nigerians embarked on sometimes ago, that's 2020. We saw the way the government clamped down on protesters. We also saw a situation whereby some youth that protested at the Lekki Gate were massacred. Now, should we expect Nigerian youth to go out and protest again? And consider the fact that the government allegedly is trying that their planned protest, or they should just relax it.
Mr. Mike Adekule, I believe at this stage we need to go back to drawing board. We need to retrieve, map up strategies for us to face out these people in power. Because if you go again, these people control the army, control the police, control every security about us in the land. You can see what happened. Even those that were killed in the Lekki Gate, justice has never been done to them. There has not been adequately compensated. Instead, just one person has now recommended the reopening of Lekki Gate because that person happens to be part of this government we are speaking about. Now, that's what I said, see, a person cannot be a judge in his own case. The federal government is the judge in this. What do you expect from them? Every persons that make up that panel, they will be appointed by the Lagos state government. What do you expect? Do you expect them to just savage the law against government? Do you want them not to take sides? They will surely take sides. So now I believe we should go back to the drawing board and then strategize. Come 2023, we should know how to face them out in government. Because if you say we want to go there, thousands of youth might still be killed, and then again there will be no, and then these people will not be what adequately compensated.
All right, thank you so much, David. I really appreciate you for coming. We really appreciate you, CK Eric Info. We really appreciate you, and Glory Chukuma. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And on this note, I say goodbye to you on today's edition of this program. Join us next time on the same platform. Michael still remains my name behind the camera. Michael Ojo. Femi Davis also joining us. We really appreciate you guys for coming on board. You can subscribe to our sister channel. You can also subscribe to Flip TV. You can join me on Facebook, Michael Temitayo Adekunle, MICHAAL, Michael Temitayo Adekunle, and on Instagram, Adekunle Michael Temitayo. We really appreciate the CEO of Flip TV, Abiodun Kupolu. Respect to you. Kudos. Bye, everyone.